This channel and video is sponsored by Ratchet Clothing. Ratchet Clothing and the Sit Down News team want to wish everyone a healthy and happy new year. I'll add the link to Ratchet's website down in the description. Today I'm going to be speaking about some things that may interest some people, so let's get to it. It seems that both Sicilian and American Cosa Nostra had a lot more business dealings with Ndrangheta than we all realized. And although they're three completely different organizations, they do have two things in common: drugs and money. Follow the money is a term the late prosecuting magistrate Giovanni Falcone put into practice during his time. Presently, by following the money trail, investigators have managed to track that path back to the Ndrangheta. As we know, over several decades, Ndrangheta has become leaders in the drug trafficking trade. And as the saying goes, he who has the most money rules. I'm going to be referencing a section of Anna Sergi's book, Chasing the Mafia. If you haven't read the book, I recommend that you do. It's extremely well researched and you'll enjoy it. I previously interviewed Anna Sergi, and I'll add a link to that video down in the description. I'll try to add as much detail as I could, and as far as pictures go, some were unattainable, so bear with me. The Saderno Group is Ndrangheta clans operating in Canada, Australia, and Italy, and as this story will show, in New York as well. Nicodemo Ciccia, according to the Drug Enforcement Administration files from the late 80s, was associated with individuals involved in the international drug trafficking. He was suspected of heroin distribution for organized crime members. Ciccia was the president and operated out of the Marco Aurelio Social Club on 14th Avenue in Brooklyn. Coincidentally, on September 1st, 1991, he was shot 5 times and killed outside that social club. That murder investigation uncovered some interesting facts. Most members of the club were originally from the Calabrian town of Saderno. Some members of the club were identified by law enforcement agencies in the United States, Canada, and Italy as suspected international drug traffickers. The Saderno Group has been linked to American organized crime families such as the Magaddino Tadaro family in Buffalo and New York's Bonanno family. The Bonanno family, as most people know, also has a faction in Canada. The building that the Marco Aurelio Social Club was located in was owned by Giuseppe Procillo, the former president before Ciccia. In the 80s, a Calabrian judge received information about the arrest of Vincenzo Coluccio, who was supposedly preparing to become a drug supplier in New York for a Dominic Coluccio, a food importer, and Salvatore Risopiro, a travel agent in New York. All of these men worked for Giuseppe Procillo, who at the time represented the Saderno Group in Brooklyn. Risopiro was considered the number 2 man under Procillo. He coordinated the drug trafficking here in the United States, and he controlled the money for the bosses back in Saderno. So here was a member of Ndrangheta working in New York. Risopiro's connection to the murder investigation was his business card was found on Ciccia's body the day of his murder. He worked as a travel agent for World Premier International Travel, a business well known to the FBI and the DEA for its owner, Anthony Anastasio, a member of the Gambino family. Anastasio happens to be the nephew of Murder Incorporated boss Albert Anastasia. In 2010, Anastasio committed suicide after being convicted in a racketeering case. The case involved the extortion of the Royal Crown Bakery in Staten Island. Supposedly, Anastasio stepped in to prevent Wild Bill Cotolo from shaking the owner down, but only then to turn around and demand a $2,000-$3,000 envelope at Christmas time. Another member of the Marco Aurelio Social Club was John Grillo, a known narcotics trafficker. Grillo had ties to the Ndrangheta and the Gambino family. In 2014, he was arrested at a Milan airport while boarding a flight to New York. The case involved drug trafficking from Calabria to the United States. Grillo was also indicted for extortion, which involved a business loan from the 80s. He lent hundreds of thousands of dollars to a businessman to help his failing company. Another person involved in lending the money with Grillo was Bonanno Caporigine Cesare Bonventre, who would be killed in 1984. Also arrested on the case with Grillo was Francesco Palmieri, a member of the Gambino Sicilian faction. So once again, you see there's an American Cosa Nostra and Ndrangheta connection. Grillo is closely associated to Roberto Panunzi, who is known as the Italian Pablo Escobar. Panunzi was tied to the boss of Saderno, Antonio Macri. And Gaetano Badalamenti, the Sicilian boss, who was the key player in the pizza connection. Panunzi set up heroin shipments to the United States for Badalamenti and also for Stefano Bottante and Salvatore Inzerillo in Palermo. In fact, it was Panunzi's idea to have the gangsters from Marseille set up the heroin refineries in Sicily, which completely cut out the middleman in the drug trafficking game. In 2013, Roberto Panunzi was arrested in Bogota, Colombia. It would be his third arrest in 20 years. The other two he managed to walk away free. In one of those other arrests in 1994, he offered a Colombian Special Forces commander a substantial bribe. He told him, "Do you want $1 million in cash right now?" But the commander turned his offer down. The more Ndrangheta is looked into, it's a clear indication that they've been active in dealing with American Cosa Nostra and Sicilian Cosa Nostra as well. A recent investigation uncovered their dealings with two New York families in particular, but more to come on that. I hope you found this video interesting. Please remember to hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, you could do that as well. If you think friends and family may enjoy this video, please share it and thank you. I also want to take the time to once again thank all the people who donated to the channel this holiday. I appreciate it as it helps us grow the channel, and thank you. I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their day, and I'll catch you on the next one. You can subscribe to the Sit Down News blog at sitdownnews.com, and I appreciate everyone who has subscribed. Thank you. Well, just another example in the mob you never knew about. If you would like to subscribe to this channel, you can do so down below. If you would like to subscribe to my other channel, Unlimited Substance Podcast, I'll add a link in the description to this video.